Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this sea turtle cake topper. Now this is part of my Under the Sea cake topper series, and if you'd like to take a look at my other tutorials in the series, then I'll leave a link to all of these in the description so you can take a closer look later. Okay then, let's begin. So to begin with, I'm making like the belly part of the sea turtle, and for this I've got 30 grams of cream modelling paste. This is white modelling paste that I've coloured with some autumn leaf food colouring paste. I've kneaded the paste till pliable and then form it into this kind of flat rectangle shape like you can see here. It's about 1 centimetre thick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the top bit a bit more pointed where the neck will go. Make sure it's nice and rounded at the sides. Just so you know, I will leave a link to everything that I use in this tutorial in the description. And now I'm going to turn it over. Make sure it's a little bit more rounded at the bottom there on the edges. And then I'm just going to use my knife tool just to score some lines all the way across. Now it's important that you get them up the sides because this is what you're going to see on your sea turtle. Not where you're going to see the bottom. But you want to make sure you get them going up the sides, either sides of the belly there. So there you can see I'm just making sure that they're going up the sides. Just going to do that on the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to flatten that top bit where it points, just where the neck would be. And I'm just going to use my scriber tool just to make a little hole in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a candy stick in there. And that's something so we can attach the head to. So I'm just going to add a little bit of clear alcohol, or you can use edible glue. I'm just going to pop that candy stick in there. A little bit of an angle. And then what you can do, you can easily trim that with some scissors so it's not too long. And now all I'm doing now is I'm just going to go over with my knife tool again, just putting those indents in, and I'm just pressing slightly just to get that a little bit more curved at the side. So obviously if you are making this for someone, you will just let them know that there's a candy stick in there. It is edible, but it's also a bit hard, so just let them know that it's in there if it's going to be eaten. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to leave this overnight to dry. I'm just going to pop it in a dish that I put some flour in, covered with a cling film, just to keep that kind of curvedness as much as possible. And then once that's dry, I'm just going to turn it over, just like that, and so the bottom can dry. So leaving this to dry will act as a base to make the rest of the sea turtle tomorrow. Okay, so firstly I'm going to make the head, and I've got about 20 grams of some pale green modelling paste that I've kneaded till pliable. And now I'm just forming it into a little kind of oval shape like you can see here. Always going to check for size next to my model. That looks alright. So now I've just made a little indent where I want the head to go. And I'm just going to use my scriber tool again just to make that hole. Add a little bit of clear alcohol. And then I'm just going to stick that onto the candy stick. Obviously if it's candy stick was too long, you can just give it a trim with scissors again. Okay, so now I'm going to further shape my head. First of all, I'm going to make it a little bit pointed at the top. So you can see there, I'm just using my finger and thumb just to point that top bit there. Okay, so now I've got a ball tool and I'm just marking 2 little indents where the eyes will go. This is just to give me a guide. Because now I'm going to use my fingers just to kind of flatten all the way down where that indent is. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm making a little nose shape in the middle there. Okay, just using my thumb just to rub a little bit of an indent at the top of the nose there, just for a little definition. And now I've got a smaller ball tool where I'm going to go in and actually mark the eye sockets. I always do it slowly just in case I make a mistake. So now I'm just going to try and shape the bottom there for the chin. So I'm just trying to make the bottom a little bit more pointed by using my finger just to roll it around, just to shapen it so the middle bit goes down a bit and you get a little bit of a chin area. And now I'm going to use my Dresden tool just to mark in a nice little smile. And if it's a bit rough, you can always use a dry brush just to smooth it out and then just squeeze it together again. So I'm just further making that indent at the top of the nose with my bone tool because I didn't think it was enough. And then if you do that and you misshape the eyes, just pop the ball tool back in and the eye shape will come back. Lovely. So now I'm just pressing down at either side of the mouth just to make it so the nose and the mouth are more protruding outwards. And now I've just got my needle tool. I'm just going to pop 2 holes in there for the nose. Okay. So now I've got 2 balls of white modelling paste which I'm going to pop into the eye sockets. Secure with the ball tool. And then turn the ball tool around so my smaller ball will then mark in some more holes in there for the irises. Want to make sure they're going to get them the same size. So now I've just got some blue paste which I'm going to stick in there for the irises. Secure with the ball tool. And then again turn the ball tool over and make some more holes in there for the pupils. So each hole is getting smaller obviously. And then 2 small balls of black modelling paste in those holes. There we go. Just secure in with the ball tool. And then lastly, I'm just adding a little bit of highlight to about 2 o'clock in the eyes. So just sticking some small balls of white modelling paste and then securing them with the ball tool. Okay, so now I'm going to make the shell. And to do this, I've got about 22 grams of eucalyptus coloured modelling paste this time. Roll it out into like an oval shape. You want to keep it to about 5mm thick. Check the size before just cutting out a little curved bit at the top there where the head will go. Smooth it off. Check for size again. And now I'm using my Dresden tool just to go around just to mark some little indents all around the outside of the shell. And then just to make sure it goes all the way around and pick it up and then make sure that it's curved at the bottom. And now I'm going to make sure that it's also all at the top. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my Dresden tool to score a line going all around the outside there. So now I'm going to score in a hexagon shape there in the middle of the shell. And now I'm just going to draw lines out from each corner of the shape out to the line that I scored around the edge. So I'm just going to neaten the edge there where the lines meet. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of glue there just to pop that onto the turtle's back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently mould it around so it curves all the way around and fits nicely. I'm just going to use my Dresden tool just to go where that score was before, and that will gently push the shell to the kind of cream underbelly bit that we did earlier. Okay, so now what I've got here is just a dry brush, and I'm going to go and neaten off all those score marks that I've done, and you can see the more you do, the more of a little indent you get, and it just makes it more defined. So if you think your turtle's a little bit too flat and you want to prop it up a little bit, you could try using a bit of the cream modelling paste that you used for the belly and just sticking a little bit in the middle there underneath. Just pop it in there. And then just kind of blend around the outsides just to mould it into place. And then you can use the knife tool again just to go into those grooves that you've got there, just to help kind of mould it into place and to hide it really. So now I'm going to make the flippers that are 4 marble sized balls of the pale green modelling paste. Just going to roll it into a cone shape and just flatten the end there like that. I'm going to do the same on all the other 3. Just going to flatten it. There we go. So that's all 4 done. And now I'm just going to just make it more of a flipper shape. So just kind of straighten that one edge there and just pull it a little bit. And now I'm going to just turn up the narrower end, which will go up the body when you stick it into position. Okay, so this little one here is just going to roll into a cone shape for the tail. Flatten the end there. We're going to stick that into position first. Okay, let's make that nice and pointed. And now I'm going to stick all the flippers into position. You might need to hold it for a little while just to make sure it sticks. And then you can further shape it if you want. So it's worth noting that if you're going to put this on a side of a cake like I did, you might want to put some of the flippers on later when you attach it to the cake, because you might want to put them in a different position. But if it's just going on top of a cake, then this is absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm just attaching the last flipper. As you see, you can further shape them once they're in position as well. And it's worth noting that if you've got a little gap between the shell and the head, you can always roll a really small tube of the pale green modelling paste and just stick that into position there with a damp brush, and that will give you a little bit of a neck effect. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some dots of some darker green modelling paste, and this is just a dark green moulded into little tiny balls, and I'm just going to stick them into position and then flatten them with my ball tool. I'm going to do them all on the flippers and some on the top of the head, different sizes. Lastly, for some shading, firstly some pink blush for the cheeks. Just pop some on some kitchen towel, take off the excess, and then just gently dab it over the cheek area there. And then I added some eucalyptus dust to the shell, just done it gently to build up the effect. And there we go. That is your sea turtle cake topper made. I really hope that you liked this tutorial. Please don't forget to check out my other ones. Please comment, like and subscribe for more, and hit that notification bell. Thanks so much for watching.